Hey everybody, I'm Lizfaerie,
Hi guys, I'm Joey.
and this is not Whip Wednesday because
No,
it's not Wednesday. We took the week off this week because there wasn't really very much that I had to show. Really, I mean, I have been working on some stuff, but I haven't worked on that many things. Like,
Yeah,
there's literally two things that I've been working on, and I've made like some progress towards those two things. But I feel like it would be a little
yeah.
bit
So
silly
not
to.
exactly a lot to show to have a stream just to say
Yeah.
hi for like 10 minutes and then be
Yeah,
off.
yeah, exactly. So it seemed a little bit silly to have the stream on Wednesday, but we did just
Yeah.
we just reached 10,000
Yay.
subscribers. So yay. Yeah, so we thought that we would do a little, I guess, sort of impromptu stream.
Like a little follow up fun
Yeah.
Friday instead of
Yeah.
having the Whip Wednesday, just
Mhm.
to say thank you for all of this. Hitting 10,000. This is huge. We never would have thought that
Seriously.
we would have gotten to this. So it's
Demon Lee's here.
oh hooray!
I should probably have not yelled that a little bit. Sorry.
Tone down the excitement.
Yeah, no, I know.
We weren't really sure who was going to show up, just because
I know, because it's so impromptu, so I wasn't sure if anybody would see this.
But
but yeah, it's nice to see you, Demon Lee. So we're gonna look at a couple of finished pieces, instead of work in progress. And since it's Friday, we can still keep with our alliteration theme, and we can call it a finished pieces Friday.
Yeah, there you go. Could start a whole new thing.
I know, it's so exciting, Demon Lee. I can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. Like, I don't think it's fully sunk in yet, actually. I just got the email this morning from YouTube, and I was like, I guess it's real now.
I know, yeah, totally. Because it was floating a little bit. I think it went over 10K, like, and then sank, like, just below it, like, a couple of times to, like...
Yeah, and I guess it takes, like, YouTube a while to, like, recognize it, probably because of that. Like,
because
you
it
have
fluctuates
to get,
constantly.
Yeah, you probably have to get a little bit higher than 10,000. And then also, another thing is, I think the YouTube Studio is just a little bit, like... Because the YouTube Studio is still not out yet, so it's like kind of a little buggy, and I think it actually doesn't know exactly how many subscribers you have yet.
It's not completely up to date.
It's not completely accurate. So the amount of subs that I've had for a while has been above 10,000, but I think YouTube Studio may have just caught up with us. So now now we officially have 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit.
It's still sinking in.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
Maybe next week on Whip Wednesday, I'll be
intense.
like, "Oh my God, 10,000! You guys!"
Serious.
But yeah, I'm just like, cool. I guess, is this really a thing that happened? But yeah, I guess there's 10,000 of you guys. So, oh my God, hi.
Yeah.
There's probably a bunch of new people too that have just started following. So,
So thank you for
thanks for joining us. Yeah,
watching the whips and enjoying the tutorials and lessons that you've been putting out.
Yeah, and also, as always, feel free to engage in the chat, as Demon Lee is already doing. So let's have a look.
We have a giant pile.
Yeah, you can
kind of see.
There's bits of it all over the place.
There's just some of it right here.
Yeah.
There's more on the floor, and then there's.
Yeah, there's a lot. I just went through a couple of bags, and I just pulled out a few pieces that I thought would be interesting to talk about. And I definitely didn't bring out everything, but oh my God, you guys! Like, I don't think we're gonna have time to talk about all of these.
Yeah, so we're just gonna kind of pull.
We might have to start doing these finished pieces streams like a little bit more regularly, and maybe we'll show off all of them eventually. But but for now, let's chip off a couple.
We'll see how far we get.
So
we do these.
Oh, I wish I had thought to dig out. Oh no, wait, I don't have it anymore. That's right. My first skull mask I gave away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since we have.
But yeah, if you want to see that, there's an old oh wait, no, I think the video is privated. Oh no, you can't see it. Sorry guys.
Oh, it does not exist.
No, the video is privated. Now that I have the newer version, I almost think it's like, I don't know, I think it's almost like slightly maybe like weird to have a video showing the old version when I have a new version that has the tutorial and the pattern, I guess. So I privated that for that reason. And also the mushroom cap hat that I had that I don't know where it is at the moment, so I can't show you guys that.
So what first gave you the idea to do
I
the skulls? Was it like...
I don't even know. Like, I just randomly thought it would be a cool thing to try to do with, like, color changes. I think that when I started making these the first time, I just started experimenting with doing color changes on like this random hat that I had
Yeah.
that I had made. I couldn't find it. I was gonna bring it out actually, but I couldn't find it. But it was just a regular like double crochet hat that just had a trippy like 3 different color checkered ish like offset checker pattern type thing.
Right.
And I just thought like, you could do literally anything with that type of thing. And I used to have, this is what it was. I forgot all about this. I used to have a beanie. You probably remember this beanie.
Oh yeah,
that's right. It was like
Now I remember.
like it was when you folded it in half, it was like it was knitted and it had like a skull like profile on each side of the hat. So if I had it on, it was kind of almost like it had like almost like a almost kind of 3D a bit effect,
kind
but
of
not
like
quite.
With those like torso like ribcage shirts. But
Yeah,
just,
except
like,
it was,
but
it was 2 different skulls
Yeah.
that were just the profile on each side. So it wasn't exactly that like from the front, but like maybe from certain angles it would maybe look weird or trippy.
Right.
But yeah, it was like a really cool hat. And then I think it just like I like lost it or left it somewhere or something. I don't even remember what happened to that hat. But I was like sad that I like lost it, and I was thinking like, oh, maybe I could make something else like that with color changes.
Right.
But then like, and I think I started doing it, but then I stopped because I got this idea.
Yeah.
And I started trying to make that instead. So,
yeah, and I remember you going through like some of my anatomy books that I have left
and like
over,
all of my
like,
drawings that I made of like every single angle that I could think of a skull. Because I literally drew freaking, because I basically drew the same thing that was in all of your anatomy books, which was the front of the skull, the side and the back and the top. And then I think I even had it like from a couple of different angles that I just like, just Google first of all. And then the other thing that was funny, when I first did the first one, I went really far and then I like frogged the whole thing because I realized I accidentally made a fetal skull.
Right. Just looking at the wrong part of the anatomy.
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong page. Oh, hey, Leslie Grant says, hello, everyone. Hey, Leslie. I'm glad you could join us for this 10,000 subscribers
finished
stream.
Friday.
I know, I should have named the stream that. Maybe I'll change its name later on. But
yeah. I forgot, did you incorporate did you incorporate the eye holes from the beginning, or I can't?
The first one, actually, let me put one on. Is this one the right size for me?
That might be the smallest one.
Okay, this isn't the smallest one. It's just the small. There's maybe it would be better if I could use my lips. So yeah, this one might be a little too small for me actually, because I did make a bunch of different sizes. So this is like my prototype for like a youth size, I suppose. It's a little tight on my face. Is this one a little bigger?
Yeah, I think that one's the slightly bigger one.
Okay. I'll put that on.
So as you can see, it can be worn as a beanie and also.
Oh yeah, and then this one I never finished the stitching around the teeth either, because this one I did. You can see all of the lines that I put in at the top of the teeth.
It's just a slightly different style.
No, they both look good.
It's still finished.
They do both look good. I think I did actually say in the video that that's an optional step that you can take, because it's like a certain style when you do it that way. And even just like, I think it would look good even without any color changes. So, waving madly from Australia.
All right.
We'll wave madly back. Okay.
Oh,
so, I know, right? I never get to do that. So yeah, I think that when I first made this, I guess I wasn't as experienced with making different shapes, and I don't think I thought to give it eye holes at first. Right. So I just didn't at all, and then later on I was like, oh, what if I just did that? But it was too late already at that point. Yeah. So I just chopped them out. I know. And then I like stitched them closed really, because
these are really like probably like
the
final pieces. There's probably like a handful of other skulls.
There was a couple of prototype
that have probably come into existence and been frogged. Yeah,
yeah. There's a couple that I did frog. Yeah, it's always sad, but yeah, that's
because I think the first ones didn't have as many of the ridges and.
No, they didn't. No.
Yeah, because this is probably one of the first times that you played around with like just making
With
extra
making different
shapes
shapes
and
and stuff,
details
yeah.
to get like extra.
Yeah, and like all these little folds. Oh yeah, here let's have a
let's
look
go
at
ahead and
a closer.
use our closer cam.
Yeah. So so yeah, you can see all of the little folds and ridges that I put around the brow and the nose and the cheekbones and around the eyes. I think I also did like one row after just to clean up the little circle around the eye. What I would really like to do is put those lenses in the eye, though.
Yeah,
that would make such a big difference.
That's the next step after revisiting.
Mm-hmm. I would like to actually do another version of a lot of these patterns and like a new tutorial, because when I made these, I didn't have the new microphone yet. So a lot of the audio on those videos is just not very good. So I do kind of want to remake this tutorial maybe a little bit eventually. Probably eventually.
But yeah, no, it would be because this is pretty old. Like you came up with this
like a year or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look at the tiny one. No, actually, maybe it's 3 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know, right? How long have I been doing this channel? Oh, I wish I had the first skull that I made though, but I think there might be old photos of it on Facebook, maybe on my Facebook page. I think it's just fairy rings on Facebook.
You guys might have to dive a little deep, but if it's in there.
Yeah, it's like an old photo that I took of some of the old skull prototypes that I made, but like it looks way different now.
But yeah, I just remember thinking it was trippy.
I think it would be nice to add that lens though, just because it would
just
help
looking through the anatomy book and making different little changes and stuff like that to get more of the shape of a skull.
Yeah, so I think it came out really nice.
This came out really, really nice for as ambitious of a project as it was.
Yeah, and if you guys are brave enough to try this pattern is available in my Ravelry store, and the tutorial is also free on the channel. But again, the audio isn't as good. It's not as bad as some of my older videos, because I think by that time we did have a slightly better setup. Maybe we had the Yeti, but we didn't have like a good studio setup enough that it just wasn't very good quality. But now we have a lot better audio that I'm able to produce. Right. So I'm going to hopefully remake that. But the tutorial and the pattern are available already. So if you want to see that, that's something that you can do.
But yeah, those are some trippy pieces from early on.
Yeah.
In the channel, and just in you like making like more detailed.
I wonder if I would like change anything if I redid them. I almost want to try to see if I could make them in single crochet, because I did make them in double.
Well, and I keep on thinking you should make more that are in this style, but just not skulls. Like I think
that's true. I could try doing that.
I love the skull aesthetic, and it came out super, super cool. But I feel like this is like the start of a bunch of different.
Oh God, my hair.
Type,
Let's do that.
Face mask things that you could do. But yeah, should we jump to something else?
Let's move on to the next skeleton fellow.
I know, since we have another skeleton brother.
Yeah, this one, it doesn't have any wire in it.
It's a bit of a floppy skeleton.
It's a really floppy skeleton. Yeah, it's a little bit comically floppy.
I know, right?
But yeah, I really like this pattern as well, but it's like another one that's really, really complex, and it's almost like there's probably like easier ways that you could do something like this if you wanted to do something like that wasn't as crazy.
Yeah, because there's a lot of these where you're just kind of messing around, and so it's like a little too ridiculous to try and make a tutorial.
Well, I did make a tutorial
for this guy.
This guy, yeah, there's a pattern and a tutorial.
Wow.
I know.
There you go.
So if anybody is interested in this pattern, here, let me show you guys the. You can always put wire into different parts of the body to give it more structural stability, but I never did that with the rib cage. But it would probably be a good thing to do, just to make it look absolutely like beautiful. But this one has no bones. Oh well, I shouldn't say bones. This one doesn't have any wire.
There's no rigid bones.
No wire in it at all.
No skeleton. Oh, I can't say that either.
I know. I know. It's frustrating. I usually call them skeletons and bones, but they're not in this case.
In this case.
In this case.
All the bones are not rigid, so they don't serve the same function.
Okay, well, let's see. I don't know if I can... Because the ribs they kind of want to
position them all back in place.
Well, it was in a bag, so I mean,
right.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Let's just do that for now.
Have bag hair. I guess.
Yeah, because everything's been in a bag since we like moved here. But yeah, that's it. Just kind of looks
it
like
really cool once it's all been like.
Kind of looks like you got like punched in the ribs a couple of times, but
right,
you know.
Got broken, healed a few times over.
I know, right?
You know,
poor dude.
He's.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, this one is a lot more complex than most of my dolls have been.
Yeah, because this is a lot more recent.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, this one's a fairly recent one. I think this one might be from a year or two ago, maybe. I don't remember, actually. I almost thought that maybe it would have looked nice to put something like this, like the kneecap, on the back of the heel and sew it down just to give it like a little heel bone, maybe.
Yeah, no, I think that would be good. Leslie says it would look good in their school library. I agree. A little floppy skeleton would look adorable in a school library.
But yeah, it came out pretty nice. Yeah, it's available on the channel. It's a little bit of an ambitious pattern. So if you wanna do it, the tutorial's available on the channel. The pattern is on my Ravelry store. So yeah. I have to think of more skeletal content to make because I just have.
Because skellies are a good aesthetic.
I just like, I don't know, I like making skeleton things.
Or you got to make one like this, but a candy skull version.
I know, I've thought about that, but I don't know.
That would be cool.
It's just, it would be like, it's a hard thing to make a tutorial for because something like that is going to be like highly individual and it's almost like defeats the purpose to make the exact same thing that I'm making a little bit.
That's a good point.
I don't know.
Good
that's But
okay, so
let's move on to some other things.
Who's next?
Well, I don't know. There's so much to choose from. Let's look at the Let's compare the old ponytaws, I guess, since they're both right here on top. Okay.
Demonly says she wants to make thousands of them. They're so cute.
So you can have an army of floppy skeletons.
You know, it'd be cool to see a bunch like on a string.
I know, that would be really cute. That would be cute. Or you could be like really spooky and like stick them on nooses or something.
I know, right? Make a little yarn noose.
Yeah.
Well, they're skeletons.
Well, for it to be like Halloween decorations, you could like hang them from a tree outside or something.
Yeah, totally.
So, here's my two ponytaws. And there's some things that I like a lot about this older one compared to the newer one. The obvious thing is the extra flames at the back of the legs. I think that adds so much. I almost think these are better to show here because they're just so big.
Yeah, it'd be hard to show it on the other camera.
Yeah. So here, do you want to take older ponytaw and I'll show newer ponytaw? So this one, it's funny too because when I made the tutorial, I'm all leaning back. Sorry, guys.
Face off.
So when I made the tutorial for the ponytaw, I wanted to bring this guy out and show him on the tutorial, but I just couldn't find him at the time, so I didn't. But I think in the tutorial I mentioned that you could do this, but you can see the difference in the shape of the face. This one I increased 6 times at the nose instead of 3, like I did here for this lower one, and that just makes the nose look a lot more long and sticking out of the face and less cartoonish, I guess. More horse-like and less pony-like, I guess.
I know, it's funny because seeing them side by side, this one almost looks more like a Rapidash a little bit, and that one looks more like Ponyta.
Well, I mean, Rapidash has a unicorn horn, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That would be cute to add to it, though. And then also, doesn't Rapidash have, like, yellow or white eyes or something like that?
Yeah, no, I think he does.
Yeah, I think so.
Because also the chest on this seems to bulk out.
Yeah, I was trying to make this one bigger, and then also I think this is the first horse with legs like this that I ever made. So it's like, or that I ever completed, because I think I have a few that I didn't actually finish. But yeah, this is the first one that I made with like the knee, but I hadn't gotten around to making like the heel yet. So. Oh my god. Okay, well, we can move on to. Let me grab.
Let's have these ponytails prance away.
I'm gonna grab those Pokemon that are in the background just to bring them out and show them for a little bit. Oof. All right, so we have some Pokemon here. I think I showed this one a couple of weeks ago when I was showing you guys the Ponytas, just because I wanted to show you guys the Charmander's Flame. But yeah, I made a Charmander. There's a Squirtle floating around somewhere that I'm pretty sure I have made, but I don't know where it ended up.
He's too cool and part of Squirtle Squad, so he's like sneaking around somewhere.
He just ran off with Squirtle Squad.
Yeah.
But and then I also have this Bulbasaur. So I have 2 out of the 3, and I think I had a Pikachu that I gave away, so that's what happens with Pikachus.
I know, right? They always run off with people.
People like Pikachu. But so yeah, and I think I made an earlier version of Charmander for somebody, and then also I gave that one away, so it's not something that I can compare at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces that you make that you give away to friends and family.
Yeah, I do tend to give away a lot of my pieces. But one of the things that I just love about this Charmander is just the open mouth and the little tongue. Yeah. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I did start out with like making like Muppet style puppets out of crochet and like felt and stuff like that.
Yeah, when you were like super young.
Yeah, when I was really young. So I started out doing things like this, and that's one of the reasons probably why it comes through in my dolls a lot, where they have like articulating features and like are more like a puppet than a doll, I guess. He looks so happy. So cute. I love Charmander. Was Charmander your favorite?
Charmander was always my starter that I chose.
Nice.
I tended to go with.
Look at his little face.
Oh.
I just wanted to show you guys how cute he was. His cute little tongue.
Yeah, no, that style of mouth looks really good.
Yeah, this is the same style of mouth that I used for my Olaf, I think. Except this one I worked from the top down instead of from the bottom up like I did with Olaf. Snorlax.
I know, it looks like Demon Lee's excited for Snorlax.
And Leslie says, so clever. Thank you, Leslie. Okay, let's show the Snorlax, who, again, I don't think we can show on the other camera.
By popular demand.
My Snorlax pillow. This one,
this is such a nice little
I don't
pillow,
think
too.
I've made any of my Pokemon into tutorials except for Ponyta. So I really need to get on that.
That's a super good
this
one
was
because
great.
That's like
because he's like my little pillow.
He's like the perfect little.
He's like a travel pillow.
Pillow.
I take him on vacation a lot, actually.
Yeah, he's so cute.
I love this Snorlax. But yeah, I'll show you his little face on the camera because that I think we can.
Yeah, I know.
Look at how big he is compared to the Charmander.
Photo mom just takes up the whole screen.
I love the way his face came out.
Yeah, no, that's super cute.
I wonder if I could even make him again. Here, let me show you his little feet because they're also really cute. But yeah, I can show you guys bits of it close up. I think my first starter was always Squirtle. And he's the only one I couldn't find.
Oh. He'll pop up.
And my favorite Pokemon is Psyduck, so water trainer.
I know,
Not really,
right?
though. I actually like normal types a lot. Because I'm boring. Rattata, best Pokemon. Fight me.
Oh, yeah. Fight me. It's a rat. he came out really nice.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I made him. I wanted to make a pillow for myself, and then I thought, why not just do this instead?
Right. Yeah, you should totally make.
He's just gonna hang out behind me for the rest of the stream.
Yeah, nice, perfect. You want to show the Bulba any closer?
Yeah, he has a bit of a derpy face. I kind of want to do that thing that I do with my dolls now, where I pull the eyes in.
Right.
And I'll show you guys that what I mean, because it'll be pretty clear what I mean.
And I feel like you could probably make his legs a little shorter.
Yeah, I think that they actually need to be thicker. Is more
right.
Like, I think its body and its legs
his body
need to be thicker. I think I just made his head way too big compared to its body.
Right.
So like the front legs are way thinner than the back legs also. So like. But yeah, I think that the face would look a little better if I kind of stitched the eyes in like how I do with my dolls. Right. You know what I mean? Like pull the eyes in. That would be so intense.
Or that'd be crazy too, just how you're doing those types of stitches on your realistic dolls if you were to do animals or like Pokemon or creatures.
No,
or
I know.
like
I want to do that a lot.
Style.
Yeah, no, I know. I've been wanting to do that. Like how I started making like the anthropomorphic like cat girls and stuff like that. Like I want to do an actual cat. Eventually would be kind of cool, really especially with like the style of skeleton that I made for like the ponies and stuff. Just want to like show that little spot because I love that spot. It's my favorite spot on Bulbasaur's face. But yeah, I think there's like a random other Bulbasaur that has a little heart spot on its head like that, and I just really like how that looks, so I made that one.
No, it's good.
The only thing with that Bulbasaur that's unfortunate is that it's so top heavy that it's hard to get it to stand up.
I know,
so
right?
If I was going to make another Bulbasaur, I would probably want to weigh down the feet and also make the feet just bigger and also just make the body in general a lot bigger.
Yeah. And that'll
definitely make a lot easier to stand up.
Sorry,
okay. So now what are we doing?
Oh, this guy's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Should we pull out the Star Wars stuff? Is my Leia there? Because Leia is another thing that's in that pile. Yeah, she's right there. She's all the way at the bottom, though.
Yeah, there's another skull.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. There's another one down there, but that's the little tiny one.
Yeah, that's so many skulls.
That's like the child size. Leia's right there, though.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. But then this one, my Ewok, he needs to have... Again, I almost think that pulling the eyes in with the stitching would help a lot with this one. But you can kind of see what's going on here. It's the Ewok from Star Wars from episode 6. I forget what the numbers of the old ones are.
Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
I forget what the names of the old one or what the numbers of the old ones are now because there's just so many.
I can't remember the character's name though.
Who freaking Wicket?
Yeah, is that it? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, right. Yeah, pretty sure it's Wicket. Yeah, and I think I have his spear somewhere, but I don't know where it was, and it wasn't in the bag. So, and I mean, obviously, it wasn't in the bag. I didn't want to stab the bag. I think it's somewhere though.
He must have thrown it somewhere.
I think it's in a random box that we still have somewhere. But anyway,
he saw the Squirtle roaming, and he was on the hunt.
Let me show you guys this guy's face real close up.
That came out so good.
Yeah, it came out pretty good. And again, with my puppet background, here's his little teeth.
Oh yeah, how'd you make his teeth again?
These are mini brads. Like, you know, the paper binding type of brads that have like the little.
It's
like,
kind of like ridiculous arms. How good those came out.
Yeah, on that scale, it just looks really, really nice.
Well, and his eyes look bizarre with the Kyo. You can see the light from our Kyo in the reflection of his eyes, and it looks a little sinister.
But yeah, I think it came out really, really nice considering that it's like made of yarn. It like looks pretty good. Like it looks like really close to what I don't know where
those pictures are up on your
Facebook, I think they might be up on my Facebook. But yeah, we took
really good perspective pictures in the woods nearby.
Yeah, because we live near the redwoods, so we did take some.
Moon of Endor, essentially.
So we did take some really, really good shots of this when I first made it, and we took it out. the season and holiday Bulbasaurs, like the ones that are like the flowering Bulbasaurs and stuff, like those.
Oh yeah,
I don't think I've seen like any holiday Bulbasaurs, but I've seen like some Bulbasaur, like some flowering Bulbasaurs and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I don't know if I've seen that.
I know we love Pokemon, but there's so much, and we're not really super kept up on a lot of the last gens, and especially like the anime and stuff.
I wish I still had that Chewbacca that I made.
I know, yeah, the Chewbacca
that guy
was
looked funny.
Yeah,
it was cute. It wasn't like a realistic one like this. It was like a cartoonish, silly Chewbacca.
He had kind of derpy eyes.
Yeah,
I gave him a derpy face. It was
yeah. Well, he was supposed to be. I was trying to make him look all cute.
Yeah, no, but the
Ewok came out pretty
He came
nice.
out super cool. Just and the texture of the hair and everything.
Yeah, and actually, this is just freaking homespun. This is just lion homespun brushed out, like I do for all of my fur, because it works so good. I mean, not all of the fur that I make. I mean, I've made other fur that wasn't homespun, but homespun works so good really, to make like really thick, shaggy hair. This is what I made for that Wampa too. That I made the Wampa rug. It's
like you don't have to work as hard to get like a big, huge,
a really chunky
aesthetic.
fuzz. Yeah. And then I really like the I guess the dye job on this particular yarn because it looks so realistic. It looks like a animal hair type look, you know, because it has all those different like highlights and shades in it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that one came out super nice. And then along with them, you made.
And then along with
Leia.
Yeah, along with that Ewok, I made Leia, which was like I tried to size to the Ewok. So, and I have another. Here's her poncho.
Oh yeah.
Because she has two outfits. One of which is this one that she wears around, around like the rebel base, and I think when they're on the ship to go down to Endor, she's in this. And then once they're on Endor, she switches out her vest for this poncho and is just wearing this over everything with I think the belt on the insides now. Probably, or maybe something like that, or maybe the belt is just gone now. I don't know. but yeah, I made this Leia, and she's like in the older style that I used to make dolls in, where it's like just basically just two dots for eyes that are actually made out of brads
two
again.
Brad eyes and
then also her
simple face
and her skeleton is not as good in this doll as well, because as you can see, her head is a bit floppy.
Oops, sorry.
But yeah, usually now I'll have the skeleton go all the way through the neck, all the way up into the top of the head, and then I'll sew it down to the very top of the head so that it's anchored down and all the way up through the head, and then it just moves with the skeleton. But because it only goes up so far in this one, her head's a little she's a bobblehead.
Yeah, she's got whiplash.
She just likes to get down.
Yeah, she's loose and groovy.
She's loose and groovy. Wait, hell, let me show you guys the here's her little face and her braid. It's a lot chunkier than I would like it to be because it's just straight up made out of yarn. Like, I didn't pull it apart. I didn't do anything. This is before I knew what I was doing with yarn wigs or hair or anything like that. I almost think this is like one of the earliest doll hair things that I even made. So it's literally just
straight up doing.
It's just like straight up long yarn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of yarn. So it's not as good as it could be, and I didn't pull her eyes in like I usually do now, where I would like pull the eyes in and give her like a little nose shape. So that's not something that exists. And I gave her this little belt.
I gotta show off the gun.
I will eventually. It's a blaster, though. Call it a blaster.
I'm sorry.
We don't want to get demonetized. Hopefully they didn't catch that.
Ooh.
It's just a blaster. There's no such thing as those things in this world. Just saying. By the way, just something to bear in mind. I should have thought of that before we before we started. But yeah, let me
not even think.
No, it's okay. I totally get why you wouldn't be. Because who would think about it? It's silly. But yeah, let me see if I can get it out of here. Because over time it kind of tends to sometimes
it is cinch around it.
It sticks to it a little bit over time. Not really a lot, just almost like feels like the fabric like embeds itself into it a little bit. But yeah, it's just made out of, I think I had a wire base that I built into the shape of the blaster that she carries, and then I just kind of like stuck a bunch of hot glue all around it to build it up eventually, and then after that I like sanded it down in a couple of spots just to like smooth it out a little tiny bit, and then I sealed the whole thing in Mod Podge and painted it with a metallic black.
Yeah, no, came out pretty good.
Yeah, it did come out pretty good. And here is the holster that I made, which is just in the same shape with like 2 little loops for the belt to go through. And then this belt, which, let me throw that in there. And she has like a random little pouch that she carries on the other side of her belt, but there's nothing in there. I just put a bead in there to take up space, make it look like it was filled with something, because it does look like it has something in it the movie, but
it's a thermal detonator.
Yeah, maybe it's a thermal detonator. I don't know. I put the blaster on backwards, I think. Yeah, I did. Okay. So let me change her into her other outfit, which is basically just changing out her vest. You know, it's another funny thing that I did on this one, because you know how oh wow, her body is done in the old format too. Let me show that off in a moment.
Yeah, right.
But you know how I will usually make the bust of a doll and fold the middle in to give it a more realistic aesthetic,
right?
To make the bust like have like cleavage or whatever. I accidentally did this to her when I shouldn't have, and now her shirt just looks like it has cleavage. So it's unfortunate. I tried to fill it in the rest of the way, but it just did not want to. It just kept popping back in. That's it's funny. Like unfortunate, but it's a good thing that she's covered up most of the time. But you can see it right here. It just wants to have that
form-fitting shirt.
Yeah, it just is a very, very form-fitting shirt. And but yeah, it's and I made her waist a lot more tapered down so that
she's definitely got
she's got a really tapered down waist because this added so much bulk to the waist.
Yeah, whenever you add pieces,
when you add pieces, you have to take that into account, because it just all the layering together makes it look a little bit too bulky and not like the same as the character. So let me switch her into her poncho.
It's getting rainy.
Well, it's more like for camouflage purposes, I guess. And if I had made her with normal hair instead of this bulky, gigantic mess that I gave her, or if I had made her a wig instead of this giant bulky mess. Because this is part of her head, yeah. So I have to like yank it through. And then whenever I do that, she looks like somebody punched her in the face.
Right.
Let's fix that.
It was the poncho.
Nice. I know, it was. It was the poncho.
The poncho punchoed her in the face.
Oh my god. And it like looks okay with her hair inside of it, but her hair is just so bulky.
Massive, yeah.
It's so big that it looks a little bit silly with her hair underneath it. And also the other thing that I kind of wish is that here, let's show that because it looks a little bit silly. But the other thing that I kind of wish is that I had made the poncho out of a lighter weight material, kind of, so that it was like more flowy and easier to like.
Yeah, but it's pretty much the same.
but it's all the same type of material, so it's very stiff.
Right.
Unfortunately. Maybe this did have did this have the blaster over it? I don't remember. Gotta watch that movie again.
What side was what?
No, I just don't remember if the blaster was on the outside or not, because this is open at the back. So I don't remember if she has the belt over it on the top and the outside.
Over the front, maybe.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember. I know that she does when she's wearing the gray vest, but I don't remember if it does.
No, I could see that. That makes sense.
I'm not sure. I know it does make sense, but I mean, I'm not sure if that's how.
It's like buttoning down the front flap.
Yeah, because it's like something like that, I guess, kind of. Maybe. I don't remember if that's how she looks, but if she does, it's pretty fly. And even if she doesn't, it's still pretty fly.
Hey, I'm glad somebody appreciates my humor.
All right, let me show you guys this poncho. But yeah, so I just made this with one of those woodland camouflage yarns that they sell. You know the ones. You guys have seen them.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like the perfect shade for this poncho that she's wearing. And I don't remember if she's wearing the belt over it, but it looks cute with it.
It looks good like that, so.
Star Wars Marathon. I know it's been a while since we've done that. We should. It's a shame we don't have the originals anymore. Well, we have them. We just don't have a working VCR.
I know, and by now, I don't even know if I want to play them anymore. They're like antiques.
I know, right?
I'd be semi-afraid of them, like, disintegrating.
They're just going to disintegrate from being used. I don't know if that's how that works.
No, yeah, maybe not.
If anything, they would just, like, be dirty, I guess. Anyway.
That's neither here nor there. Well, it's over there, but, you know.
Oh my God.
All right. Silliness aside.
Okay. How long have we been going? Oh wow, we've already been going for 40 minutes, you guys. I feel like we've barely touched this like giant pile.
Tip of the iceberg.
Okay, well,
it does sink down that way.
Let's do the last Star Wars thing.
Oh yeah, I see R2.
There's a BB-8 somewhere too.
Oh, where's BB-8?
Maybe in that pile somewhere.
Here. Well, here's R2.
Well, let's talk about R2.
I'll look for BB-8.
Okay. And this R2 is also sized to the Leia and the Ewok, so that's my Star Wars series, I guess. That I
know, right? This was it right here.
Yeah, I have. The Jawa too. That's another one that's in that pile somewhere. So yeah, let's just do the rest of the Star Wars things, and then I guess that's it for us for now. We just did Pokemon and Star Wars, I guess. Cool. Next time we'll go through the next thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, the Jawas came out pretty nice, actually. These two together. This is another one that I think it would look really, really good if I was to push the eyes in so that they were sunk deeper in. Kind of like, you know what I mean? Like if I sink it deeper in, it kind of looks like it's more like just glinting deep inside. Fit in some little LED lights. I know that would be really cool, but like I'm not that good. But yeah, so here's the Jawa, who is about the same size as all of the other characters. Again, I made kind of and I don't even know if I did that on purpose with the Jawa or with the R2 and the BB-8, but I guess I randomly did make all of them kind of sized to each other. I know, it does feel like we just started, right?
Seriously.
We've like barely gone through anything. But I really, really like how this R2 came out too. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I wish I had written this down. I could probably figure it out if I like looked at it for long enough, but like I love how this R2 came out. I have to show you guys the face close up because I think it looks amazing. Oh well, there it goes. R2. Here, let's show the Jawa first. So I think that the Jawa would really benefit from having the eyes like
those brads just look
like
good,
deeper back into the head, so that you can kind of not see the shape of the body as much anymore, and it kind of just looks like the brads are just in there. You know what I mean? Like, I think it does look kind of nicer if I was to push it deeper in. And there's the little sash.
Those little pockets look cool. Like, even though they're like faux pockets. Yeah, but just the way that you like embroidered the little flap on there, they look like they are little pockets.
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. And the pattern for the robe that I made for this is literally the same thing as my hoodie pattern that I made for my dolls. So if you wanted to make one of these, you could just do that with the hoodie pattern, just make it long instead of stopping. And it's really just like the basic doll that I made, just in black with freaking... it's the basic doll, but I used metallic, like the regular basic metallic brads as eyes, like the super basic ones that you just get, like the brass ones that just come in the giant packs of brads that they have at first grade and stuff. But do they have those in first grade anymore? Maybe they don't. Maybe children eat them, but
maybe. I mean, I'm sure it's happened.
And then the belt, I guess I just made like just a couple of rows of different color striped No, it looks like actually this might be 2 rows of brown, of the light brown with like slip stitches in dark brown on the outside, and then all of the details are just embroidered on. So it's a pretty simple piece to make, actually. Like, this would be like a really easy tutorial.
Yeah, dude. Jump on that.
So I guess I could make this into a tutorial on pattern fairly easily.
And Leslie asked, did you make the Star Wars characters one after the other or over a long period of time?
I think that when I was making the Star Wars characters, I did kind of make them one after the other.
Right.
Like, I kind of went into a little Star Wars.
Yeah, because we'll kind of get into, like, little phases
yeah,
a little bit.
I think that was right when they announced that they were... It was, like, right when they announced that they were going to do the new series of the Star Wars movies.
Right.
And, like, I just kind of started making Star Wars characters, and then they showed, like... And then I think we saw, like, the trailers and stuff, and then I started making the BB-8, and then I started making R2.
Well,
so let's talk about R2 and BB-8.
And then we'll have BB-8 be our clincher.
Nice. Okay, so here's the R2. I'll show you guys closer up in a minute. But I love how R2 came out. This was another one that I did a lot more research on the way that R2 looks than I maybe needed to. Me too, Demon Light. Me too.
Right. Like
those are all my favorite things for sure.
Every day.
Here, let me fix my hat. I left a bunch of I had a bunch of finished Harry Potter pieces in the bags as well that I left because I was like, I have too much right now.
I know, right? Yeah, there's
just too much. It's too much. Okay, so let me show you guys the R2 closer up. And I guess I probably didn't need to be as detailed, but I think I don't know. I think it added so much to the aesthetic of the character to be that detailed.
This is how you got good at color changes.
Yeah, this is literally how you get good at color
doing
changes.
stuff like this is how you get good because you're kind of, putting the challenge onto yourself to be super detailed and accurate.
Yeah, seriously. And there's like a large safety eye there and a tiny little safety eye in here that's been, I think I maybe embroidered that on top of it to embed it. That's kind of similar to what I do with the gems now, actually, except it was with a safety eye.
Yeah, so it's like you can kind of see
where that idea maybe initially came from.
Right.
And then this is actually just a little tiny orange reddish bead that it worked so perfectly. And it's just something that I happened to have, too. I was like, oh, I'm probably going to have to buy something to use for that. And then I looked through everything that I had, and I just had something that worked perfectly.
Right.
But it was just a little red-orange bead that I had left over from, I think it was from a piece of jewelry that I had that broke. And I was like, well, might as well save those beads. So that was a good decision, it turned out. Yeah, I really need to make a pattern for this R2.
Yeah.
I always thought that it kind of looked like a turkey, though. Just a little bit. It's like a turkey with a leg in the middle.
Well, then you should make one that's
make R2 refined. And then make a turkey.
Yeah, exactly. Just in time for Thanksgiving, too. We're getting close. That'd be great. Just make a little turkey.
That's so ridiculous. No, just the idea of being like, here's R2, and here on a related tutorial, a turkey.
I know, right? Just do that, like unrelated but related characters.
Related because it's the same shape, but
same body shape,
completely
but
unrelated.
Universes.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's funny how often that happens. Thank you guys. You're so sweet. Okay, let's do the BB-8. And
BB-8.
This one's a fun one. This one there is a pattern on the channel for the BB-8. I actually don't have a written pattern for this, just the video tutorial. I really should write a pattern for this though because I love this BB-8. Yeah, no, there's not a pattern yet. I need to get on that.
I know, right?
So this one I need to do a written pattern, but the fun thing about this one is that it has like a spinning head, and that was
you built
something
in like
that,
I
built in a I guess like a ball and socket joint on its head on both sides, so it has like a nice little spinning ability, which makes which is a nice touch, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was a nicer way to attach it to instead of just sewing it down, because I feel like that would have made it look less realistic to the way the character looks.
And it's on there too, like it's secured.
Yeah. And you could probably pull off some really trippy like animation with something like this where you just have it like kind of rolling along, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't try to do anything like that, but I always thought like, oh, that would be a cool thing to try to do, but I never did try. So let me show you. This is like a baby version of the R2 though. Like all of the pieces that are on this. And that's the other thing too, is that I did do a bunch of research for what these specifically look like, because each one of these little like panels on him looks different.
Mm-hmm.
Them, I should say. It's not a girl or a boy, it's a droid. But anyway, but yeah, all of them look slightly different, but I thought that on this scale it kind of didn't make that much of a difference.
Right.
So I just made all of them exactly the same.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think I had started making them all different too, but it just was like a lot of work for not that much nuance.
That much of a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
It just wasn't very clear. And then all of these little dots, I think that I made accurate to what the character looked like from what I could see, but maybe not, because at the time I don't think there was very much images of BB-8 online.
Because I think it was just like the first.
I don't think the movie had even come out
was
yet.
Was it just from trailers?
I think it was just from trailers, yeah.
But yeah, the swivel head mechanic is ingenious.
I've been thinking about incorporating that into like other like actual dolls too, just so that like I could have dolls that have rotating heads and stuff too.
Right.
It'd be a little creepy though on like an actual doll. They'd be like.
I know, right?
On BB-8, it's cute, but if it had like a face, that'd be a little scary.
I know. Child's Play is the new Child's Play is coming out now too. Could make it a Chucky doll.
But yeah, I also. Same size safety eyes for the R2, except this one didn't have anything embedded around it. But yeah, I really need to write the pattern for that R2 and for this BB-8 because like I think they came out really nice. They came out
really nice, and according to what people have been saying, you know, they're amazing. They're really good.
Okay, well, that was all of our Star Wars stuff. Yeah. And we've been going for almost an hour, so maybe we'll leave the rest of these.
So yeah, we'll try and keep track of which ones that we've shown off already, and then maybe this can be a thing whenever you don't have enough for Whip Wednesday.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually,
then maybe we can just switch it
to Friday.
To Finished Pieces Friday, and
I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, so that way you don't have to feel super stressed about like.
I have to finish a bunch of pieces.
I need to make more progress so I can show it off, or I need to like start a brand new piece so I can have something I'm working on.
I agree, Demonly.
I know.
I don't think that that's a good idea.
We already have Squirtle.
I think that's a terrifying idea, and I don't think we should do that.
We have Wicket to protect us. We just have to find his spear.
Okay. But he's unarmed. What will we do until we find it?
Well, Leia has her blaster, so it's all right.
Oh, okay. We're safe.
I know. We have a whole army of...
Not to mention all the Pokemon.
I know, right? Whoa.
Okay.
It's making me want to watch the movie Toys. Anyway.
So that's going to be it for us this time.
So that 10,000 subscribers.
I know.
Thank you guys so much. It's insane that we've gotten there.
Seriously.
And that we have people from...
I know.
And, from our home state all the way to Australia, apparently. So it's like all over the world, and it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, a little bit.
So thank you guys so much. But
yeah, thank you guys, and thank you guys for joining us in the chat and for watching us.
In comments.
And also later on in the archive, if anybody watches this later. Yeah. Feel free to comment, and I will probably look at that.
Yeah, if you see anything in the pile in the background that you want us to show off, maybe try right? We've got some Steven Universe stuff. There's some mermaids around.
Yeah, no, I wanted to get to the mermaids, but there's just so much. So maybe next time we'll get to the mermaids, because I really want to talk about them. I kind of want to redo my mermaid tutorial. But anyway, so, that's it.
So then. I think that's it.
So we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Yeah, I think so. Because I think I'll have a couple of things.
Yeah, next Wednesday should be a Whip Wednesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday should be a Whip Wednesday again. I should have a few things to show you guys next week.
Yeah.
Next week. So this time we will have one for sure. Okay, guys. So. Thanks for joining us, and thank you so much for subscribing, everybody. It really means so much to us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.